Hello chess lovers, I have a very beautiful attacking game for you played by the first undisputed world chess champion, Wilhelm Steinitz. Steinitz is on the black side and his opponent is Hewitt. The game was played in 1866 in London. Hewitt started with e4 and e5 by Steinitz, bishop c4, bishop's opening, and a very aggressive approach by Steinitz f5. Black is going for Calabrese Countergambit. Nowadays, of course, you won't see such an opening played by the top chess players because this is weakening Black's king side. Later, Black will face a lot of problems with castling king side because the bishop is controlling this diagonal and White only needs several precise moves in order to gain advantage. d3, knight f6 and knight e2. Well, the knight on f3 looks more active, but instead we see knight e2, bishop c5, c3, knight c6 and d4. Well, not the best move. Castling king side is of course better, but instead we see d4. E takes d4 and knight takes d4. Well, at least White should have captured on d4 with the pawn, but after knight takes d4, now Steinitz is simply grabbing the pawn on e4. Bishop f4, d5, kicking away the bishop, closing this diagonal, and now Black can safely castle kingside. Bishop b5, now there is too much pressure on c6, that's why Steinitz first captures on d4, and only after queen takes d4 he castles kingside. Already the knight is no longer pinned and the queen is hanging, that's why White captures on c6, b takes c6, queen a4. Well, instead of developing his pieces or bringing the king onto a safer square, White is moving around with his queen, and of course this gives Black an easy chance to gain a huge advantage. Bishop g5, queen e8, queen b3, another terrible move, and now comes knight g4. Steinitz is unleashing a very dangerous attack. Now the pawn on f2 is hanging. Bishop h4, but as the king is stuck in the center of the board, Steinitz is using that fact and pushes his e-pawn. e3, White castles kingside. Well, f3 could have been better, though Black has a very strong response e2, and if you capture on g4 this can be very dangerous because of this queen e4 move, and White is in a huge trouble. You can't even play rook g1 because of this rook f1 check, and White king will soon get checkmated. Let's go back. After e3 we see castling kingside. Now comes queen h5, bishop g3, and there it goes. The pawn reaches the second rank. If I am not mistaken, this is the same pawn which started its journey from f7 square. Rook e1, and now comes a very beautiful tactical shot by Steinitz. Rook takes f2. What a move. You can't accept the sacrifice because you will get checkmated. After rook takes f2 we see knight d2, rook f8, c4, and now you can pause the video and try to find Steinitz's next move. Just have a look, now he's unleashing a very dangerous combination. Here comes rook takes g2, check, sacrificing the rook, king takes g2. Well, if king h1 then rook takes h2 simply. That's why after rook takes g2 we see king takes g2. Sacrificing the rook is not enough. Steinitz is also sacrificing the queen. Queen h3 check. King takes h3. Well, if king h1 then rook f2 is destructive. There is too much pressure on h2 square. Let's go back. After king takes h3 we see knight e3 discovered check. This is very important to control this g2 square. King h4, knight g2 check, king g5, rook f5 check, king g4, what a king hunt, h5 check, king h3, and now can you find checkmate in one? Ready? Rook f2 discover check, and this is a checkmate. It's very important to place the rook on f2 in order to protect the knight. What a great king hunt by Wilhelm Steinitz. If you enjoy this crazy attack, don't forget to give the thumbs up in order to support my channel, or subscribe because more games are coming. Good luck.